Hello friends, welcome to LeggLife, and this is going to be a very different video than we've ever made here on our channel. Because today I'm talking about the realization of a dream that has been, honestly you guys, for probably more than a decade. So if you've been around LeggLife for a while, you'll know that I'm the executive director of a nonprofit here in Anchorage. We work with lots of vulnerable and marginalized individuals, people like survivors of trafficking, youth who are at risk, those who are experiencing homelessness, just people who have been on the other side of injustice, right? They've felt the effects of it. And one of the things that we have dreamt about, like I said, for more than a decade, is a space here in Anchorage where we could equip the clients we work with life skills, with job skills, in a place that understands the significant trauma that they have experienced, all of the things that they have gone through, to help give them skills to build a life that is free of the exploitation and injustices of their past. And I am standing in that space because in 2025, it's becoming a dream. And I thought, you know what? It's time to walk the LeggLife family through this space. So you guys, welcome to Refuge Coffee, right here off of Spenard Road in Anchorage. Let me show it to you. So I want to walk you through and I want to show you all of the space. I want to tell you more about this project because you guys, this is something that here on LeggLife, we share a lot of our life with you. But there are some things that are happening behind the scenes that we don't have the ability to share always. This is something that has been happening for the last year actively as a project that we've talked about a little bit on the vlog, but we've never fully brought you into. And so that's the purpose of this video, to bring the community into something that has been a huge part of not just my life, but Sherry's life as well. Now, I want you to know, this is still an active job site. Like, construction is not done. This project is not done. Because again, while it's been a dream for more than a decade, it's been about a year that we've been working on this. Now, why is it taking a year? Well, I wanted to do this project completely debt-free. I didn't want to go into debt for this project. I didn't want to use any of our nonprofit funds for this project. I didn't think that we should risk taking away resources from trafficking survivors or youth to have this space. So I said, if we're going to do this space, we're going to fund this completely separate from the nonprofit, and we're going to do it totally debt-free. You guys, it is not cheap to open a coffee shop, but I've got a really exciting thing to tell you later about that as far as like where the funding for this stands. But here's what I'll say. In 2025, this coffee shop is opening. Not only in 2025, in just a few months, this coffee shop is opening. Now, why a coffee shop? And then we'll see the space. Well, as I mentioned, job skills, life skills can be difficult for people who've experienced such significant trauma. And so we wanted a place where we can walk them through that journey in a way that understands their journey, understands their trauma, understands the triggers that they have. So we'll be able to have like a back of the house training that I'll show you as we walk through this, where they can gain those skills to be able to live independently and build better futures. And that's, you guys, I'm excited about coffee. I'm excited about this space. I'm more excited about the people that we're going to be able to help through this. So, all right, I'll shut up. Let me show you. So here's the front door. That is Spenard Road, very prominent road here in Anchorage. And I'll kind of turn around and show you that when you walk in, this is the wall you see first. This is going to be our why wall. So the purpose of the coffee shop, a big like coffee with purpose sign, talking about the work of our nonprofit, talking about how funds from this coffee shop go to support survivors, go for training and awareness events around our state. Many of you will know that in recent vlogs, I've talked about the disco ball, an illustration we use here at the coffee shop. We're gonna have a huge disco ball hanging in that corner. On this wall, we're gonna tell the story about why in the world we use the disco ball in our branding, that it's such a great symbol that even the broken pieces of our story can be something beautiful that reflect light back into the world. So disco ball right there, big kind of purposeful wall. So as soon as you walk through the front door, you instantly see that this is a space that is about more than coffee. And then as we turn, I'll take you through and walk you through all that. But here is our main coffee shop space. Now, this piece of plastic is just dividing a lot of like where work is still being done. So I'll walk you through over there. But the space actually is like, it is a really, really big coffee shop space. We had our coffee bar installed recently. There's still a lot of finishing kind of stuff to be done on that, you know, the front stuff and all that. Display case will go here where you'll have cold food items, different bottled beverages, canned beverages, you know, our point of sale system right here, our coffee maker or coffee machine, the espresso machine right down there, you know, like floating shelves over here, big menu board right here. But it's going to be a very, very cool space. And it's a space that has happened because of a lot of different people. You know, I've led this organization for about a decade, and I've seen some pretty crazy things happen, like in the miraculous kind of realm. And this project has been no different. In fact, when we started, it's like, oh my gosh, how do we open a coffee shop? Like, we work with trafficking survivors. What do we know about this space? But the right people kept getting connected to us. So someone who's on our team now has come from coffee shops around town. She has experience running coffee shops, and she loves the mission and the vision of this. She's gonna be a part of this team. But then it's like, well, you gotta buy espresso makers and like all of the equipment and tables and chairs. Well, another crazy story there, a couple of our team members were out in the Wasilla Palmer area speaking at a local church, and they were just starting to share the vision of this coffee shop. And in the crowd was a couple who owns coffee shops in the Palmer Wasilla area. Couple we had never met. I had no clue who they were. Our team didn't know who they were. They came up afterwards and basically said, we have essentially an entire coffee shop in a storage unit, because they opened a sit-down cafe like 2 weeks before COVID shutdowns, and they had to put the whole coffee shop into storage. They had to shut it down and put the whole coffee shop into storage. And they had not opened a coffee shop since then with all that stuff. And basically, as they heard our team talking about the vision, they, as a couple, felt like they were supposed to give us all of that stuff. So check this out. Essentially, a brand new Astoria espresso machine, like absolutely amazing, beautiful. They were like, get a U-Haul, come get it. We're supposed to give this to you for your coffee shop. So they gave us this. They gave us all of these tables, which we're gonna redo because this top doesn't really fit like the feel of our space. They gave us all of these tables. They gave us refrigerators. They gave us chairs. Essentially so much of what we needed for a coffee shop, they just said, here, take it. And we filmed a video with them recently, and like I got emotional listening to them, because one of the things that she said was that they feel like their coffee shop failed so that ours had what it needed to succeed. Like, what a mind-blowing like view that is, right? To think of that, to think that like their thing failed so that we could have this kind of stuff, so that we could like help people and be a resource to our community. That's crazy to me. So a lot of our big ticket purchases were actually donated to us, which is crazy. In fact, I have more of those stories to tell as we walk through the space, but let me show you more. Now, a lot of this is going to be put away. Obviously, like this stuff will go into storage, but this will be kind of one of our cozy seating areas. We have a teal couch you're gonna see here in a minute. We've got some big orange chairs you're gonna see in a minute. We've got a fireplace that's gonna go on that wall, big pink fireplace. So just very fun colors, very funky colors, because here's the thing. Anchorage and here in Alaska, a lot of darkness during certain times of the year. And sometimes that messes with your mental health. And so we wanted a space that if you struggle with seasonal affective disorder, if you get a case of the Januaries when it's really dark, you can walk in and the space feels very warm, very bright. Because you can see we have like concrete floors. We have exposed wood ceiling, but we're gonna bring the color and kind of the warmth in through furniture and stuff. In fact, right over here is said teal sofa. And then we've got some of the orange chairs, some of the pink chairs, that kind of stuff. Now, I'm not gonna show you everything because I think you're just gonna have to come to Alaska and visit. None of this stuff will stay here. There's space for all this stuff. It's just like a gathering space. So this building was actually a church before we got it. And so when the church closed, we took everything. So it has speaker system, has a stage. We can do open mic nights. We can do shows here. We can show movies here. There's a projector for the back wall. We can do lots of different community events back here, which I think is just so freaking cool. Back here, you guys, we have all of our chairs that were donated. We're gonna redo a bunch of these. We've got like our pink end tables there. But I want to talk about this corner because I'm really excited about this corner. First of all, I told you this was gonna be a very different LeggLife video. But I hope you guys are excited about this because I'm really excited. So this back corner is gonna be all for kids. One of the things that we saw as we kind of did some research around Anchorage is that a lot of, times if a parent goes to a coffee meeting, meets friends, they have their kids with them, it's like what happens is that you sit down and the kid gets the phone because there's not really anything in a coffee shop for kids. So we thought, well, let's change that. So you can see there's like a corner here. On this back wall, like 4 feet off the ground, we're actually building a Lego wall. So there's gonna be Lego panels on the wall. There'll be a big like basket or big bucket of Legos on the floor. Kids can come, they can build Legos on the wall. Love that. But then we wanted like an arts and crafts station with coloring pages and coloring pages that had messaging that kids today need to hear. Things like, you matter, be kind, you are loved, you are important, just that kind of stuff. So we're having custom Refuge Coffee coloring pages made that kids will color with like very, just like encouraging messages on them. And so we thought maybe let's just have like a craft bookshelf. But then we got talking as a team and said, as a kid, was there ever anything better than when your art went on the fridge? Like, wasn't that just the very best thing? Well, here's what's crazy. Somehow we have an extra fridge. We don't know where it came from. We don't know why we have it. And we said, you know what? What if we did something kind of outside of the box, which, to be fair, this whole project is. So we're actually going to use this as our craft fridge, or not craft, yeah, our arts and crafts fridge. So inside will be all the crayons, markers, coloring pages, pens, pencils, all things that kids need. Maybe even like sidewalk chalk because it's a concrete floor. And what they can do is they can grab a coloring page, grab some markers, grab some crayons, after they're done, of course, building on the Lego wall. And they can color something. But then when they're done, they can grab a disco ball magnet, because you guys, we're doing the disco ball theme, and they can put it on the fridge. Isn't that something that's so cool? So like hopefully this fridge will be filled and covered with art from kids who get to spend their day here in the coffee shop. So big Lego wall, craft fridge, coloring tables, all that kind of stuff. Okay, now let's go back over to the other side. You guys are gonna have to stick with me because it just keeps going. Now, this project has not been me. This project has been our team. So my friend Gwen, who started this organization with, is one of the most, you guys, she's one of the most spectacular visionary leaders I've ever met in my entire life. Not only is she a friend, she's been a pastor to me, a mentor to Sherry, just like one of our favorite people. Without her, this space doesn't happen. Without our friend Allison, who currently leads Priceless, which is our anti-trafficking work, this space doesn't happen. Allison is the one who brought the disco ball illustration. She's the one who has brought a lot of the color inspiration, sort of the vibe of the space. And so this is not my project at all. This has been our whole team. I'm just the one who has the camera who gets to show you all of this stuff. So, okay, come on, let's show you more. Obviously, big coffee bar space, which is super cool. These are those funky orange chairs. And you guys, surprisingly, they're very comfortable. I love them. So we have one there, one there. They're only out here because we were filming stuff. So we'll have tables and chairs, typical coffee shop stuff around here. Right here, we're gonna have a like community table. It's like a taller table that has bar stools at it, so that if you have a group of like maybe 6 or 8 people and you wanna sit together and work together, you can do that here. Or if you're just working by yourself, you can pull up a stool, sit with other people, kind of almost like a co-working community collaborative table, which I love. That is our sound booth, that thing back there. I'll just turn around and give you a view of this. Here's the coffee bar, obviously there. This will be, you know, where creamers are, sleeves are, coffee stirs, that kind of stuff. Let's go this way. All right, so this room is very bright because that's the only light we have. This is basically just kind of a back storage area, just a little room. Now, this room though, is gonna be our commercial kitchen. There's also like a lot of miraculous stuff with this room that I'm gonna tell you here in a second. So when we started this project, we thought this would just be like a little prep space. You know, put up some stainless steel tables, maybe have a refrigerator back here. But through the project, the city of Anchorage said that we needed more than just a prep kitchen, more of a like kind of commercial kitchen sort of space. So we will have a lot of commercial kitchen stuff in here, which honestly, I kind of panicked about, because when I hear commercial kitchen, I just start thinking how expensive that's gonna be. And so honestly, this may have been one of the biggest like, oh no, panic moments for me, but let me tell you what happened. So we get the word that we have to have a commercial kitchen. And again, I kind of freak out because I picture these huge costs in my head, which could even like derail this project. So we met with a guy who, him and his wife have been amazing supporters of ours. He owns a commercial kitchen like outfit here in Anchorage, and met with him and kind of said, okay, here's like, what do we need? What in the world's the cost? And he had sent us sort of a proposal before the meeting that was, it was a number that made me gulp really hard because it was bigger than we had the ability to afford. And so we met with him and we're like, do we have any other options? Like, is there used equipment? Is there, or like refurbished equipment? Like, what are our options? How can we still make this project go forward? And he said, you know what? He goes, let's go walk through my warehouse. And so we walked through his warehouse and he was like, you know, I actually have this. This was donated. It's a little bit older, but like it works great. I'll give this to you. We have this. This will be like half price. We have this. This will be half price. We have this. And so we ended up getting basically a full commercial kitchen. Now it doesn't have like a fryer or a hood. A full commercial kitchen space for like $16,000. Now, that is such a small fraction of what the original quote was that when I tell people who know commercial kitchen spaces, who know like spaces like this, that is a minuscule amount. So everything for this space paid for. Everything for this space, like literally in a warehouse, probably 2 miles from here, waiting to be delivered. And it will be installed in a matter of weeks. And we will have a commercial kitchen space where we can do baking classes, where we can do cooking classes. We've already talked to a local organization who's interested in doing indigenous cooking classes here for local native youth to help them get back in touch with like native culture since they live in an urban area. We have the ability to like make food for the cafe right here on site now. Some of the refugee communities here in Anchorage, we have the opportunity to use the space for them. And I just feel like having a kitchen like this is the kind of thing that we will never regret. What was panic at first is actually something that I'm very excited about now. Okay, let's show you more. So kind of back through that storage area, and then we come into this room. I feel like every room I say this, but I'm also excited about this room. We are partnering with a local coffee roaster who is actually moving their entire roasting operation here into our building. So this is a room that we are gonna rent out to them, and they're gonna have 3 coffee roasters along that wall. You can see the gas lines are already run, like tables for beans, all of that kind of stuff. In fact, it's the reason we had to widen this door so that they could bring pallets of coffee beans from the outside right into the roasting room. So all of our coffee beans are going to be roasted right here on site, as well as their whole wholesale operation, all of the beans for their other clients and other customers. So everything will be done here on site. So not only is it a coffee shop, not only is it a job training center, but it's also a place where coffee beans will be roasted right here. I'm super excited about that. And working with them through this project, they actually created a custom coffee blend for us that is called Traffic Stop. How perfect is that? So in the coffee shop, we will serve traffic stop coffee where the funds go back to support the fight against trafficking, meet needs of survivors, and all of it is done right here on site. Okay, let's see even more. Okay, so the area we're in now is kind of this step down area. You'll see the front doors are over there, coffee bars there. We have a ramp down here, bathrooms. These are all gonna be redone, obviously new paint, all new flooring on this lower level. This will still be like polished concrete. So that will be concrete down here, but like a commercial grade laminate down here. Over here we have, that's just like gonna be our office. That's gonna be a storage room. Eventually, we would like to have storage outside, and we could turn this into a community room with like a nice big kind of conference table that people could rent and use. But for now, this will be storage, because like all of that stuff up there needs to live somewhere. So unfortunately, that room's where it's gonna live. Now here is going to be kind of our boutique corner. Everything in this space, from the traffic stop coffee to the funds of the coffee shop, is about purpose, right? It's about mission. And so these are gonna be not just like coffee shop merch, but we're gonna have products from organizations that work with survivors of trafficking. We're gonna have products made by trafficking survivors. We're gonna sell mugs that were made by an organization that work with domestic violence survivors out of Alabama. And so like everything here, if you purchase stuff from our little kind of boutique corner, goes to support organizations that are tied to the purpose of the coffee shop. Isn't that awesome? I'm so excited about that. Okay, almost done, you guys, I think. Toilets are not staying there, don't worry. So this is gonna be kind of a secondary seating area, because one of the things that we've learned is that coffee shop spaces can get loud, right? Lots of people talking, all that kind of stuff. And sometimes you just wanna sort of sit away from the crowds. Well, down here we'll have a space to do that. I don't know if you remember when I was kind of walking you up through, like by the stage, there were some brown and black like leather chairs. Those chairs will be down here, sort of, again, a secondary area people can sit. This wall is going to be for local artists. So we're gonna have, again, this will all be painted. We'll have like a track for people to hang their art. So we'll do like First Friday art shows. We'll partner with different local artists, that kind of stuff. So art wall, a bunch of like colored mirrors on that wall that match the pink and orange and teal, a bunch of other like seating down there. So you guys, there is what has been consuming my life for the last year. But we're getting very close to it actually being a reality. In fact, let's go home, because I want to sit down and talk to you guys about where this project is, when it might be open, and tell you just a couple more kind of miraculous stories that have led to Refuge Coffee being a reality in 2025. So I'm back home, obviously, and look who is here. Sherry Beth, I gave them a tour of the coffee shop.
Yes.
I told them about a project that has kind of consumed a lot of my life for the last year.
Yes.
I told them kind of the vision, got to see the space, they got to see the coffee bar. I told them about everything from their roastery to the funky disco ball to all of the fun stuff.
Nice. It's very exciting.
It is very exciting.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that it's actually becoming a reality. So let's talk a little bit about that, kind of where is the project currently. So again, we've worked on it for a long, long time, and we've raised lots and lots of money, but we had a bit of a funding gap, even up till, well, last month. And it was like, gosh, how in the heck are we gonna get this project finished? We raised like 3/4 of what we needed, but that last quarter was a significant amount of money.
Yeah.
The church I used to work at does an end of the year offering called the Uncommon Gift Offering, and they select one project from around the state to kind of fund and ask the church to give to that. So we got word that they chose our coffee shop, Refuge Coffee, as the 2024 Uncommon Gift Offering, and we thought, my goodness, this could be like literally an answer to prayer to give us the funds we need to finish the project.
Yes.
So they took the offering, and as I'm filming this, it was yesterday that we got a check for $158,000 for the nonprofit to completely finish the coffee shop, totally debt-free.
Yeah.
And you guys, I gotta tell you, it's absolutely crazy to think of. So, okay, we're not a big nonprofit.
No.
Like our nonprofit is not huge. And so to try to do a project of this scale in a year outside of the funding that we have,
right,
was quite the task.
Right, because you still have the stuff that you're doing, like your actual, like the reason the nonprofit exists, you're still doing all of that, and this on top of it, and wanting to do this completely debt-free.
And it happened.
And it happened.
So that's where we're at. So I'm actually meeting with our contractor next week to basically put things in motion for them to finish the job. And they will need 4 to 6 weeks to get the coffee shop finished. And then, of course, we'll have a couple weeks to get all of the decor and the vibe stuff going in there. And then we'll train our staff. We'll do some soft openings. And the plan is that by Easter 2025, that we will have Refuge Coffee open here in Anchorage. That feels crazy to say still.
It does. I was just gonna say it doesn't feel real yet, and I don't know that it'll feel real until we can walk into the space and there's no more wires hanging from the ceiling and there's no more plastic over the wall. It's like a usable space because that's how it's looked for a very long time.
There were so many times that I thought this project wasn't going to happen. I thought, my gosh, maybe we've gotten in over our head. What are we doing? But the whole time our team felt like this is something we're still supposed to do and still supposed to pursue. We felt like for the clients that we serve, for other individuals in Anchorage who need trauma-informed employment, that this is something our community needs. And so now it's something that's going to happen. That being said, so many of you, as I've mentioned this project just kind of briefly in snippets through vlogs, so many of you have said, hey, like, how can we help? Can we order coffee? Can we order, like, the coffee tumblers we have? What can we do? So in the future, yes, you will be able to do all of that. We don't have that stuff for sale online now yet, but that will happen in the future. If this is a project you do want to support, we do still need to raise some funds. We're finishing here's kind of the illustration I've been using, is that it's like we bought a house with cash and we have the house debt free, and you walk into the house and you realize, oh wait, we still need curtains. Right?
We
Like,
still need paint the walls, and we still need
it's like there are things that we need for the space, all the things to open the business, right? And so if this is a project you want to support, I'll put the link down below where you can check that out. It's just refugecoffeeak.com. You can learn more about the coffee shop project there. But it's crazy, we've had organizations from Rotary clubs to churches to individuals to businesses look at this project and say, our state, our city, our community needs this, and so we're going to help fund it. And so I'm just really proud of kind of the collective that's come together to make this to make this project happen. And here's the thing, is like I said this earlier, touring the coffee shop. This isn't my coffee shop. I didn't make this happen. The community has made it happen. I just get the crazy, ridiculous, I don't understand why honor of leading this organization as this happens. The other way, you can support the coffee shop. I know that a lot of our LeggLife community travels through Anchorage. I know you guys come to Anchorage. We've actually met a lot of you for coffee in different coffee shops around Anchorage.
We have a coffee shop to take you to.
If we meet you for coffee, it's probably going to be at our coffee shop. So if you're coming through Anchorage, would love for you guys to come check out the space. There's a lot of intention that's gone into this space. I'll talk about a little bit of that because I don't think I did earlier. One of the questions that we get is, how in the world if you're employing people who have been victims of like such crimes, how are you going to keep them safe if they're like out kind of in front? Well, they're not going to be, right? All of our all of our job training, life training skills can happen behind the scenes, right? You guys saw the kitchen, you guys saw some of that other like back of the house area. That's stuff that is going to happen behind the scenes. The safety of who we work with is always paramount for our organization. And so fortunately, we're hiring some really amazing baristas from local coffee shops that will be working out front on the bar. I'm actually going to be taking barista classes as well, because one of the things that we want to do is like, we think we want to be involved in this.
I want to be able to fill in if somebody needs a shift filled. So I want to be able to help.
Actually, fun fact, did you guys know? I don't know that anybody watching this video knows this. Sherry Beth, when she first moved to Alaska, actually was a barista for how long?
Like 2 weeks.
Like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So I'm going to need a refresh for sure. And that was 21 years ago.
That's right.
I'm going to need a minute to like relearn and learn how to make coffee.
So funny. So you guys, that's the project. It's actually happening here in Anchorage, and it's felt so strange because we share so much of our life with you.
Yeah.
For the last year, it's felt strange to have a piece that we haven't really been able to share. And we haven't been able to share it or haven't felt comfortable sharing it for a number of reasons. But we've reached the place now where, like I said, that last $158,000 has been given. It's in the bank. We're giving it to our contractor. We know that it's going to be finished. We know this project is happening. And so it's like we felt comfortable kind of bringing it to our community now.
Yeah.
And letting you guys know that there's this cool new thing that you guys are going to be able to, when you visit Anchorage, walk into, have coffee, support, have a great cup of coffee, but I think actually support an even better mission.
Yep.
To me, little side notes, might be a long video already. One of the reasons I'm passionate about this, yes, for our organization, but I actually think that this is kind of the way of the future for a lot of nonprofits.
Yep.
You know, if you're familiar with the nonprofit space, if you lead nonprofits, you know you spend a lot of time doing auctions and galas and fundraising events and all of this kind of stuff to just get the resources you need to help the people that you help.
Right.
Whereas I actually think that creating a business like this that can generate funds that actually support the mission,
self-sustaining.
It makes it self-sustaining.
Yeah.
You know, it makes it so that you don't always have to go back to the same group of people, the same donors. We still need donors very much.
Right. But you're kind of fundraising daily with every cup of coffee.
Yeah, every cup of coffee is fundraising to support the mission.
Right.
Plus, the other thing is like, every person who walks through the door now gets to be made aware of some of the brokenness in our culture, but also gets to see that disco ball to be reminded that like even broken things can really be beautiful.
Yeah.
So there you guys go. A different video than we've ever posted here on LeggLife. But the thing is, and I honestly thought about just not sharing this. Like, you know, not talking about it, just kind of, I don't know, eventually when the coffee shop is open, being like, oh, look, this is a thing that we have.
I encourage him to talk about it.
Sherry did push me to talk about this. And the reality is that you guys have supported every single thing that we've ever done.
Yeah.
From Etsy shops to viewer cruises to just like daily videos and podcasts. And you guys are just such an encouragement to us. And so we wanted to share something that is very important to us with you. So
yeah.
RefugeCoffeeAK.com coming soon to Anchorage, Alaska. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Me too.
I'm so excited. I'm so proud of my team. I'm so proud of people like Gwen, who really was the vision behind this to get it going.
Yeah.
I'm proud of Allison for having the creativity to create a very inviting space where people feel seen and like they matter. I'm proud of her for pushing for the disco ball.
Because I was one of the naysayers for the
like
disco ball.
A disco ball.
At first, I was like, I don't want to sit in a coffee shop with like disco ball. Now I actually kind of do.
It's the best.
Because it just makes a lot of sense.
Makes a lot of sense. Like Saoirse, who's our barista, who's going to be like kind of leading the cafe operations. Just so many, like our whole team has made this happen, and I'm so freaking proud. So there you go, friends. We love you. Thanks for being a part of our community. I will link down below. And part of the reason we're sharing this month, I don't think I said this earlier, January is National Human Trafficking Awareness Month.
Yep.
And so, obviously, that's kind of the space that we're in. And also, if you listen to the LeggLife podcast, tomorrow on Saturday, the day after this video is going up, we are posting an hour-plus long podcast that is all about human trafficking. With Allison. We had her here in our home yesterday, actually, to record the podcast. We talk about what is trafficking. We talk about the trends that we are seeing, kind of some of the things that we're seeing. We talk about the role that the internet is playing in trafficking today. We talk about our organization, the response, kind of what we do in response to that, how we work with survivors. We talk about the coffee shop some. And so if you want to know more about the work that we do, LeggLife podcast, that is going to be coming out tomorrow. Again, we're talking all about that for Human Trafficking Awareness Month. I promise you that's the end, friends. We love you so much. I hope you enjoyed a tour of the space in process. And here's what I'll say. Now that you guys know about this, as things move forward, I will include the progress on the coffee shop in some of our daily logs.
Yeah.
You guys will get to be a part of the next 2.5 months as we complete this project and open the coffee shop. And then I'll bring you guys along when it's open so you can see the final product. And eventually my hope is that so many of you, as you visit Anchorage, get to stop by, get to have a cup of coffee, hang out with us. Who knows, maybe Sherry will make your coffee. Who do you guys think would make better coffee, me or Sherry? I want to know. Me or
Is
Sherry?
that actually a question?
You think you would make better coffee than me? Okay, Sherry would make better coffee. I would be more fun to talk to.
That's true. That's true. He's gonna have better customer service skills, but I'm gonna nail that coffee because I am very detail oriented.
That's a good point. You guys, we love you so much. We'll see you on the next LeggLife video.